I am Uriah Westman. And today, if you have time for it, I will give you time for an arrangement of minutes for the whole family to enjoy. It's an age-old question. What is time? Is it, Uriah, we do not have time for your nonsense. Get back to work. There's angry morons waiting for their burger. Or is it time, space, continuum? These are questions that people that do not know who time is, who don't have time for it. But there's a reason why I am the one with time on my hands. But is time on your side? Ask a buffalo. Have you asked the buffalo? 2 times. An example of time. Seconds, minutes, hours, weeks, days, months, years, decades. A decade through time. A time for joy. A time for space. T stands for time. But what is time? Well, do you have time to listen to me talk about time? Because if time keeps on slipping into the future, is that song not part of the past if the past is from the future? I am Uriah Westman and I have a PhD in time. I'm an expert in time. I know how many seconds are in an hour. I know how many hours are in a second. 0. But if you truly want to know what time is, take a time out. Because I do not have time for your nonsense. A nonsense is time in the space of the continuum, which is Uriah. There's only a story. People come up to me, Uriah, how do you have time to do all this in a day? Well, what do you do in a day? Why don't you walk me through a day if you have time for the day? I did not create an iPad, but I did create time to listen to an iPod. So does that not make me an extension of the time extension of that object, which makes me an extension of the universe? Only time will tell. But does that make time a snitch? Then time always tells. If time always tells, why do we use a grand jury if time is going to tell? If there's always time and time is time, if a 7-Eleven is numbers, does it not know the time of the truth? I don't know. But I do know while walking through space and time, you can think of one thing. Time makes you wake up in the morning. Nothing else makes you wake up in the morning. But why are you waking up in the morning? Because you need to get ready for work. If you get ready for work, how much time do you spend getting ready for work? Time will tell. But how about this problem here? You have to get up early in the morning for work, so you have a coffee maker. How much time does a coffee take to make? Time is a ever-ending ringing, a fire in the soul of the light. But is time just based on the sun? A sundial, a dial tone. A dial tone with a harsh reality that you're all out of time. But we are not all out of time. People say to me, Uriah, how do you just create this nonsense? Well, I got a whole lot of time to create this nonsense. I think the best thing for everyone, through everything, is to go for the experts on this. And who are the experts on this? Google, the almighty Google. Let's look at what the experts say is the expert thing about the expert time in the expert space-time continuum of minutes. First hand, second hand. Which account of time is it? Is it the one hand or is it the two hand? What time is this? 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 Or this? What time is this? It took me 3 seconds to grab my phone, which is time that I will never get back. But if you gave back time, is that a taxable benefit? We don't know. I don't have time to get into the fine-tuned realities of time. What they do have is time to look up the word. Theories of time. Why listen to me as an expert while I can read another person being an expert? Discussions of the nature of time and the various issues related to time have always featured prominently in philosophy. But they have been especially important since the beginning of the 20th century, which doesn't make any sense because if all time is relative, does that mean we're all related? Does that mean that you are related to time and time is related to you? But then why are you late if time is what's telling you to do? You are ruled by the clock. Are they gonna clean your clock? This is a clock of the time of my imagination of the space, and feudalism is in this phone. Many logical questions about time historically arose from questions about freedom and determination. In particular, worries about fatalism. Fatalism can be understood by the doctrine that whatever will happen in the future is already unavoidable. So does that mean it would have been unavoidable for me to go to the coffee shop every day in the morning and then they remember who I am and then they get extra friendly with me and then I'm not prepared to be extra friendly to them, so I need to go to a pre-coffee place to enjoy a coffee first in order to have the energy to deal with the actual coffee shop baristas that I want to deal with. Then, am I messing with the space-time continuum? Or am I discontinuing the space-time continuum. If every event is unavoidable, how can I not avoid hanging out with people that are totally avoidable? I can avoid the local restaurant and bar, a bar that is definitely a feudalism. Why is it a feudalism? Why is it a feudalism? Because that bar has not seen happiness since the Prohibition era. But the thing is if my voice is going out into the continuum now, but the time on the memory card says 2013, am I back in 2013? I don't know, but what I do know is that, number one, there are now propositions about everything that might happen in the future. If there's a proposition about everything that will happen in the future, then riddle me this. If I propose to you that I hire you as my writer, but instead of writing, you write in a way out for a new job, does that make you a feudal gesture? I don't know. But what I do know is what I've learned over the years is if you say a bunch of words and connect them and have a lot of curiosity in the form of confidence, everyone will believe what you will say. Because everyone is in the time of their day. And the time of their day is the best time of the day because it's a time of day that I can see you. I am free that time of day. But what if the sun goes down? Are you a werewolf spaced in the time of the continuum? These are questions that will never be asked. But if a squirrel bounces around the flying saucer, a isosceles triangle with a 90-degree angle, does that make it 9 in the morning? If you operate on 24-hour time, does that mean you are operating in only 24-hour time? If you're operating in the 12-hour time, does that mean you only survive for 12 hours a day? What happens if you're in the Bermuda Triangle and you happen to be a square? Does that make the time of the isosceles triangle become an acute failure to everything that you have done in your life, peaking from the cosmos of a generation that is unavoidably late for coffee in the morning because he goes to a coffee shop to prepare to go to another coffee shop, to prepare to write, to prepare to go to another coffee shop? But then if I have time to prepare, is time telling me and dictating to me what I need to do? I don't know. The simple stuff is that everything we're saying today needs a proper long conversation about theories, about time, about theories. But I got a theory for you. How about this and this? But all I would say and go ahead and say to you is that I have completely and utterly wasted your time. But if I have wasted your time, does that not mean that someone's time here is better spent well wasted? And if time is better spent well wasted, well, welcome to the time of your life. And if the time of your life is now, it means that me, Uriah Westman, has broken the time-space continuum and makes me Father Time. And I do not want to be Father Time.